Hello, everyone. It is so good to be with you again. I was reading through Psalm 139 earlier today, and I just really started thinking about how close, like, God is to us, even when we really don't feel like it. We have about 9 days to go until autumn begins, and I'm not sure how you're feeling about the season you're in. And um, for some people, myself included, um, life may not be going as you thought it would, maybe like 2 seasons ago, right? And God sometimes can feel as if, and that's feelings, of course, we know it's not always reality, as if he's been at a distance, right? Though we know that he's close. And I personally, of course, believe God's promise that he comes when we call, he dwells with us when we worship, and he is close to broken hearts. We know he comes to the brokenhearted, but questions still arise. We are humans, right? And that's why we seek the Lord. That's why we seek his presence. That's why we seek the things that are eternal. We look upward because questions arise. And the best place to get answers to any question is to look up. He is our creator. And that left me wondering, why did the God of all creation, he's all powerful, he's all knowing, he's all present, not choose to save humanity from afar? Why get into the messy stuff? Because we can be messy. Maybe you are never messy, but every person that I've encountered since birth, before birth, there's been a certain level of messiness with humanity. And so God obviously knew we would be getting into trouble over and over again. So why not just deal with us from a distance? Because that's what people often do, right? You get into a little trouble and you don't see them. Things get a little messy, they're gone. Now they might try to help you from afar. I'll help you from afar. That's kind of a thing. Now I'll do something from afar, but I don't want to get, that's just too messy for me. So, but why did God choose to get close to Adam and his wife and the serpent, Satan? If that's one person you want to like, ooh, we're not gonna mess with that. But God chose to get close, and Cain and Lot and Hagar and Jacob, Hezekiah, Elijah, Gideon. We can go on and on. David, Mary Magdalene, Saul, who became Paul, the one who persecuted and killed Christians, Judas, the betrayer, Peter, the denier. Oh my goodness. Yet God chose to be close, to come close to humanity in this way. And 2 Corinthians 1 says that God comes to us with grace and peace and mercy to comfort us in trouble and to empower us to do the same for others. Now, God chooses to do up close what he has the power to do from afar. And I believe that is because God practices what he preaches. God practices his principles. God has always known, he has always known our griefs and sorrows. He created us. He has always known our frailties and evils. Nevertheless, he chose to send Jesus to become acquainted with the most painful depths of humanity. You think about some of the atrocities that's happened in this world, slavery, the Holocaust, so many terrible things even happening even right now. God became acquainted. He sent Jesus to become acquainted with the most painful depths of humanity, to experience the shame and disgrace and the brutality of our ways, and to be savagely murdered for all of us, even the people who were crucifying him. He was surrendering to this brutality for them. However, most of us who are believers We tend to keep our distance from those who are living with sorrow and troubles. It's like, I don't want to. I don't want to go there. I don't want to mess with that. I'll send something, right? But it seems funny, but when you think about true suffering, most of us we're like, no, 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 no. I don't want to. It's almost like we think it's going to get on us. I don't want to get close to that. And we don't want to get too close or too involved. We don't want to really sacrifice because Jesus' example shows us there's pain involved. You get close to trouble, you get close to affliction, you get close to, you're going to feel it, right? But we're no different from the disciples who felt they did not have enough for others. When Jesus, the word says to give, and the word is used cheerfully, what's almost a willingness. And it's not just talking about money or time, or it's talking about when we give of ourselves. God's never going to force anything. We are to give willingly. And when Jesus called his disciples, the first disciples he called, they did not feel, number one, they were qualified, but they did not feel they had enough for others. They had their own lives. They had their own needs. They had their own lack, their struggles to worry about. But from the moment he called his disciples to follow him, Jesus began to show them that they would be more blessed when they did as he did, right? When they relied on him instead of themselves. The empty fishing nets became more blessed, right? The 5 loaves and the 2 fish became more blessed. And he had to keep repeating this principle that he was showing them. He was in their presence physically, and he still had to keep repeating what that principle was. God practices what he preaches. God never looks at our deficiency, but at his sufficiency. That's something I've been thinking about. God never looks at our deficiency, but at his sufficiency. And we should take courage in that. Because since God practices what he preaches, let us practice what he preaches. It's from his power and his power alone that we can do it. It's through his principles and his principles alone that we learn and understand and have the wisdom to do it. Okay, maybe things don't look as they should right now. I don't know. Maybe I have the wrong friends, but I don't know anybody who has a perfect situation right now. None of my friends, none of my associates, even strangers that I talk to, everybody is facing a situation or circumstances in their family, at their workplace, at their church. Something is going on that is not what they expected. But let us not let those things cause us to withhold any good that is within our power to do as we wait for the season to turn. Yes, autumn's coming. Yes, abundance is coming. That's what God's promised, right? And abundance doesn't always look the way we think it should. It's not always something natural we can see. God does unusual things. He does unexpected things. He does things suddenly. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. He doesn't move the way we move. Our vision, our senses, everything about us is limited except the things that come to us by the Spirit of God, right? So as you are waiting for the seasons to turn, have this expectation. And with that expectation, don't let that expectation just be for yourself. That's selfish, right? Let that expectation be manifested by you not withholding any good that is within your power to do as you wait. And for today, I mean, we're literally, 9 days away from the beginning of a new season, from beginning of autumn. And God created the seasons. So something is always happening in every season, whether we see it or feel it or hear it or not, or sense it or not. Move about this day in his grace. His grace is sufficient. Move about this day in his goodwill. It's available to you. Move about this day in his glory. He is the glory and the lifter of our heads. Move about this day in his glory, in his grace, in his goodwill, in his glory. Find someone, find somebody, find another human being to give to. Find another person that God created to give to, and you will be more blessed. Shalom, shalom. Have an amazing day. God bless you. I'll see you next time.